Same.
Good to see you.
Same.
We have a minute.
Yeah, let's give it a minute. And I just want to see, hey guys, thank you for joining. I can see a few of you joining here. I just want to know if, Vishala, can you see me and Niharika okay? Because I can't see either of you.
I can see you both okay.
Okay,
Can you hear
maybe it's
us,
me
though?
then.
Can you hear us?
I can hear you fine, yeah. And Niharika, you can see the two of us okay?
Yeah.
Okay, the day that internet decides to not work for me. But yeah.
As far as we can
Right.
see you, it's all cool. We all understand Mumbai rains.
Yes, maybe that's what it is.
Right, so it's 7. I think we can start.
Yeah, let's get started. Hello, family, Insta fam, I believe. Welcome. And we have this is our first live session as Pynk, and we have some very interesting guests here. Let me introduce you first to Niharika here. Niharika is a chef, the founder of Sugar Free Dishes, and some amazing stories she has, which she will tell us shortly about her relationship with sugar. And we have Dr. Vishala here, and she's the ever exuberant person, the most exuberant person I have met. She's a doctor. She has a passion for nutrition, and she wears many hats. She's a founder of the Health Medic, and she's also a recipe creator and founder of the Beyond Bread. So we will take all of this live session if I start to tell everything that she's involved with. So let me stop there. And I will be your host for the next for the remaining part of the evening that we are here together. My name is Raj. I'm building Pynk, the platform where all of us have a shared passion here of finding interesting foods that are free of refined sugar, free of refined flour, and free of artificial preservatives. So that's a little bit about the intro. So now let me hand over to Niharika. I have just this, as if you created Sugar Free Dishes out of your own passion for all things sugar free, but you created this date seed coffee. I had never heard of that before, to be honest, and I thought that was very interesting. Why do we even need a date seed coffee? What does it even do? So I was very intrigued by that. So tell us the story of why and how you created that.
First of all, even I hadn't heard about it before. Before creating it. So, date seed coffee, just to give a brief description. Date seed coffee came into existence on our menu because we wanted our date syrup to be zero waste. So initially we were letting the date seeds go in the bin, and the endeavor to become a sustainable zero waste company led us to do a lot of research on what can we do with the date seeds. And to our surprise, we found that the date seeds are even more nutritious than the date flesh itself. I mean, they are brimming with vitamins and minerals. And so we created a sample batch and we got it tested in the food lab. And to our surprise, we were mind blown to see how much nutrition it's packed with. In addition to the nutrition, it's decaffeinated, so there's no caffeine in it. And so it will not give you the acid reflux your normal coffee, caffeinated coffee gives, which has become a major problem for a lot of people today because of their lifestyles and they're not able to sleep properly. So we thought this is a great alternative. And in one of the research papers, we found out that basic coffee, in fact, it's called a bioactive grain because it's so nutritious. So we thought, why not? I mean, that's a great opportunity, and hence we became zero waste with our date syrup. Yeah.
Yeah. So in addition to building sugar free, you're also a zero waste
Yes.
company. That is inspiring. And my relationship with dates, I used to eat the pulp and not the seed as much, and I used to throw away the seed until I realized someone told me that you actually have to chew on that seed to actually get the nutrition from the date. So that was my first learning that seed is so nutritious. Maybe Trishala, you can, you've been a big fan of healthy eating, and you actually prescribe food as medicine. Can you speak to this a little bit on sugar-free and using dates and this overall movement that is happening of moving away from refined sugar?
Well, this is something which is it's not very recent. So we have been hearing a lot about sugar-free products and using artificial sweeteners and jaggery, this and that. So it's been there in this market for a while, and more we have resources to research about different products. We're coming up with all different information. So something which is natural is definitely not going to have that many side effects unless it's very, very processed. So if you're eating dates directly, obviously natural food, if taken in moderation, is not going to cause any side effects any which ways. So anything which is coming in the direct form is something which I personally feel that can be a big part of your diet. Of course, in moderation. I'm not prescribing that you can have unlimited dates or unlimited jaggery just because they're very delicious. There has to be a balance, which we will talk a bit more about in this live session. But even for example, when we say jaggery is good for you, we're not directly eating the sugarcane any which ways, right? Even jaggery undergoes some kind of processing. So we are in this place where we can hardly eat anything without processing. So now it's the debate between picking up which is the least processed product among all of this. And dates and date syrup is definitely something which is topping the charts now, along with the other nutrition benefits that we all of us know, that it's good for your iron, it's good for your gut. It also gives a pretty decent taste. It doesn't have an aftertaste like we have for any of the artificial sweeteners. So that's where I think dates were.
Yeah, that is a big plus for dates. That it is, it is both healthy and it doesn't have the aftertaste. But my pet peeve with this, I fully believe and agree with the philosophy of minimally processed is good, and we should move towards as little processing as possible. The issue is that it often means spending a lot of time in the kitchen. It translates like that, and most of us are leading busy lifestyles, and we can't really spend as much time in the kitchen figuring all of this out. So I feel like some of these products that Niharika you're making, these come to a rescue in some way, because we have in a way balance of both worlds, right? We can get convenience and health, and we don't have to forego convenience for the sake of going minimally processed. Would you, how do you feel about that?
I've had a personal health journey because of sugar, refined sugar, and it really led me to a point where my doctor said not to eat anything, sugar, maida,
No.
anything like. So
Why is
it
that?
became, I don't know. I mean, he didn't give an explanation as such, but he said because everything is processed to such an extent that nothing is really giving nutrition to you. So you might as
Hmm.
well go back to fruits, you go back to minimally processed foods. And that's
Hmm.
what I did. And so sugar was a major, it's still a major food item in my diet because I love desserts. So I started
You're a
with
big
that.
sweet
And
tooth.
when a massive, massive sweet.
Show
So
me
when
which
I,
one. Show me which one is the sweetest.
all of these, all of these. So, so when I started reading about what we used to have before refined sugar as a species, I was really surprised that refined sugar came into existence only 2,500 years ago, plus minus
Hmm.
100 years. And before that, we used to extract sugar from fruits, and we used to preserve it in a way that's without artificial preservatives, of course. And we used to consume
Hmm.
that instead of sugar, refined sugar. So we used to make syrups, we used to make molasses, we had honey, of course, and that was how we used to consume sweetness. Because nature has an, and that's our motto, in fact, our philosophy as a company, that nature has enough sweetness We don't really need all the processed foods that we eat on a daily basis. And sugar is not only restricted to your desserts or sweet stuff, it's in your bread, it's in your, I mean, you name it, and sugar is there in some form or the other. And another
Hmm.
that another thing that's happening is sugar. Sugar has about 56 different names, like dextrose, maltose, maltitol, and all these things, which people don't know. And they are written as ingredients in your breads and other things. So people, when they read the ingredients, they don't really understand that it's sugar. Like more than 72% of whatever you're eating is sugar in some form or the other. And another thing is these names are not FDA approved as sugar. So people are manufacturing companies are going crazy because they have a free will to use, all these ingredients as sugar. So I think um, after COVID, people have become really aware of what they're eating and where their product is coming from. So I
Yeah.
think that's a great way of consuming things.
And yeah, Niharika, also you, when we were chatting earlier, you talked about this sweet tooth leading you to to a place where you had to reinvent this, right? Can you talk a
Yeah,
little bit about that?
yeah, it was a very painful journey. So I was a solo project manager, and of course, the job was not really giving me the satisfaction that a job should. So I started doing a banana bread stall with my job as a side hustle, just and I love interacting with people. So that became a super duper hit. But I was using refined sugar to make my cakes, and
Uh-huh.
it I use a lot of my own product even now. Like I consume a lot of it. So
Hmm.
because of that, that led to my gums became swollen. A slight touch to the gums led to massive bleeding, and that led me to the doctor who told me to stop everything. And then, happy coincidence, my friend got date syrup from Oman, and she told me to consume that. I had that for 6, 7 months, I believe. All my problems
Hmm.
went away. No doctors, no treatments, nothing at all whatsoever. And then I realized, I mean, it's high time we consume good stuff, and so I started Sugar Delicious with date syrup as our first product.
Wonderful. This is what reposes my faith in that saying that food is thy medicine.
Yes,
There are so many stories like this, right? And I have one of your products right here. You
oh,
see, uh,
great. Yeah.
beautifully packaged, I should say. And I think it's this hazelnut choco spread. Uh, so it is not like we have market is starving of nut butters and spreads, right? Like it's a beautiful package like this. Uh,
Thank you.
so, Niharika, Niharika, market is full of nut butters, right? Nut butters and spreads. So many different brands. Why did you choose to make this?
Like you said, they're full of it, but none of them are as nutritious as ours.
There
We
you
we
go.
already stand apart.
Hmm. Yeah, talk to us a
I
little
think
bit about that.
I think
Yeah,
what I feel is, Raj, here that market is vast. Okay, we have spreads, we have nut butters, and we do have many different healthy brands also doing their nut butters and doing their spread.
indeed.
But what makes a particular product special is the story behind how the founder came up with it. And when the entire box talks to you about the story, like zero waste, and it's so beautifully written, she's using her writing to make that special connect with the people so that we feel that this product is made in the house. It's not directly coming from any industry and it's just coming from a warehouse somewhere. She's specifically putting that much effort that she's coming up with it. So I think the beauty also comes behind the story, and that's where Sugar Freelicious wins the game. And that's the reason why we have you guys on the platform at Pynk also, because that's the thing excited us the most. That how do we make it different for people, and how should this marketplace be some place where people are feeling that connect, that this is directly from the founder and they do take care of us, And when I received your product, that was my first impression that, okay, there is a special connect, and I would definitely go back and buy so that I feel homely. So that's where, as a
Thank you.
consumer, I'm talking about it. And that's where it makes a difference too.
Thank you so much,
Yeah.
Vishaka. That means a lot coming from you.
Yeah. The my experience with nut butters has been during COVID, where I used to consume a lot, and because these are healthy fats, high protein, but it was such a massive task to find something that did
Yeah.
not contain sweeteners or sugar. So I was practically spending all day. It felt like a day job to look up what the nut butters are that didn't
Yeah.
have sugar. So I mean, really grateful to brands like yours that are making these, and to all folks out there, I just want to say this, that it doesn't have to be your full-time job to build to find products that are delicious and healthy. We are committing at Pynk to finding these for everyone and bringing on board, discovering brands like Aniharika's, bringing them on board, so that we're all served convenience, and the intersection of convenience and health comes to life. So that's really the Pynk promise. So thank you, Niharika, for joining us on this journey,
Thank you
and
for having
thank you,
us on this.
Trishala. Thank you, and thank you, Trishala, for your excruciating attention to detail, where you're scouring every product that comes up, tasting it, and then saying yes or no to each one of them, both from a health and taste standpoint.
I just want to apologize, like do a public apology for the brands who have to go through this, and they have to take 100 questions before they come on Pynk. The only reason is we want to make it easy for people, and as a doctor, I don't want my patients to spend too much time of and a lot of I can say resources, money, and then figuring, like, they don't know what's going on. So for example, in COVID, like Raj, you said, that was something which was hygienic and it was packed, and it was like, okay, this is something that you can consume. So when I started doing it, I realized that people are going and buying the nut butters, and that's their first step towards
Yeah.
health, right? But the moment they received the product, they did not really have time to go through the labels and see what the brand is promising, etc. So they said, okay,
Mm-hmm.
doctor, I got the nut butter and I can start taking it at my diet. And I'm being
Mm-hmm.
very honest, I also did not ask this question to them, that which brand it is and what it is. So
Mm-hmm.
and this was a person who had diabetes, and they were on the continuous glucose monitoring, where the
Wow.
sensor is on their body and it gives them real-time sugar feedback. So when they consume the nut butter along with their meal, the sugars really went high. So when I was educating the customer, my patient, that nut butters are healthy and it's low carb, etc., the sugar still went up. So that's when my follow-up question went, then please send me the label of which nut butter you had ordered. And it
There
was
you
very
go.
sad to see that the amount of sugar which that nut butter had was very different from what I would have expected. So in my mind,
Yeah.
I thought nut butters are in the healthy category, so it's okay, and all the brands are going to be the same. But it was not. So my patient had to go through a day of high sugars, and this was a learning for me, that I have to make sure that what's going in my patient's body, so that they don't have to suffer because of my advice. So it's not
Yeah.
like, we even as doctors, I'm very open to accept this, that we also don't have time to go through each label and understand what's going inside the ingredients. We simply sometimes prescribe, and it doesn't work in our favor. So that's when I got this chance to work with a platform like Pynk, I was very excited, because it was also saving a lot of my time to understand the product, research my products for every single patient. So I just
Yeah.
want to tell the people who are live here and who will be hearing this video maybe after the live is over, that all nut butters, all spreads are not equal. Please make sure that you're reading your labels. Nowadays, there are a lot of hidden names on the spreads, on the nut butter, so you won't even realize this product has sugar. For example, it will be mentioned as sweetener in the bracket 955 and the bracket closed. This is how they are now presenting the sugars on the spread, and that actually means the product has sucralose. That's just an example. So be very vigilant when you're picking up any nut butters. Your body is not a garbage bin. You have to be sure what's going inside your system, and only you can be responsible for this. We have one such platform like Pynk, but we want a lot more like these. We want like a whole tsunami of good food products everywhere. But Pynk has taken the first step, and I'm so happy that I at least that this is one place that I can simply send the link to my patients and tell them whatever you want to buy for your health, this is a place that you can do. So you guys should definitely read the labels, but also if you have no time, you can obviously come to Pynk, because there are a whole team of experts doing that for you, saving your time. So healthy eating doesn't have to be very time consuming. I think if you just go to the right platform, you should be able to do it.
Absolutely.
Good.
I mean, people tell me healthy stuff is not tasty, but I mean, it's such a the wrong belief system. I mean, it's crazy. When I had my first, so we take about 6 to 8 months to kind of launch a product. We do our testing, we do our experimentation, and it took a very long time for us to reach a point where we were very happy with our chocolate hazelnut Malaysian spread. And the moment I had it, so as I said, I make a lot of stuff for myself as well, personal consumption. So I wanted to have a quick snack, didn't have time. So I had a chapati dinta and I just put the spread on and I just had it on the way. And I was on the way, mind blown. And I was like, this is such a good snack. I mean, why don't people believe that healthy can be tasty too? I mean,
Yeah. Yeah, so folks, this is all. If you're thinking nut butters means you need a toast, etc. There are multiple other ways to enjoy it. So explore. Like Niharika was just saying, spread it on your roti to make a filling snack. You have multiple uses for the nut butters, and we have some more on the platform. So do check it out. And with that, I want to close now. Thank you to the audience, those who are watching live, and those who will come back and watch later after we've concluded the live. Thank you very much for your interest in this topic. I think it is not just Pynk is not just an online store, it's actually a movement. So I hope you'll join the movement. Thank you, Trishala, and thank you, Niharika, for joining us here today.
Thank you.
And thank you,
Raj.
everyone.
Thank you for having us.
thank
you.
you
Have a
guys
healthy
so much.
weekend.
Bye.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.